Happy Friday, chat. How's everybody doing? It's Aloha Friday. No work till Monday. I've got my Hawaiian shirt on. I've got my pink kitty cat headphones. We've got a brand new game to play. It's Captain of Industry. Let's check it out. Ooh, help us translate the game. Yeah, I'm probably not qualified for that. Brand new game, let's go. Map from the alpha version. Ooh. Oh, so many options. A balanced map that is great for new or casual players. Who are you calling casual game? You start on the lowest platform and get all the starting resources you need. The initial area has plenty of space to place all your cargo docks. Later on, it's worth building ramps to the other two platforms, yada yada yada. The beach. Starting on a sandy beach, there's plenty of space to build a factory, but farms cannot be built on sand. So the challenge is with their constrained placement. Another challenge is that there is not much space to build cargo docks, and the main island has tall mountains around the perimeter. Curl Land. Alright, we'll do New Haven. Just do all the standard stuff. I have not touched this at all yet. I'm the captain, please. I seek some adventures. And just looking here, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's go. Everything set at standard. All right, we're loading. I have not touched this game at all yet, so I don't know. I just bought it today. Thought I'd check it out. I did watch some other people play, but they were way later in the game. So I don't know. I don't know how far in they were. They were like doing stuff with pipes and probably oil refineries and stuff. Now, I have, of course, played Factorio. All right, here we go. Captain, we have just docked. Our ship and the local shipyard will both need major repairs. The abandoned communication station can be deconstructed and used to smelt iron in a blast furnace. It's essential to build a research lab as soon as possible. Friendly village you can trade with is nearby. Check. Oh, there's a world map. Oh. All right. What did it say? Communication station. Start recycling. Okay, the game is running. We need a blast furnace, it sounded like. Smelts various materials such as iron or copper. The output is a molten material that needs to be sent via molten channel transport. For instance, into a caster for further processing. Molten materials cannot be transported via trucks. Okay. Ooh, it's got a grid. I like the game already, chat. I'm ready. All right, hold on. Waste and dumping. Your population generates waste that needs to be collected to maintain healthy conditions in the settlement. You can attach a waste collection to your settlement to collect its waste. To get rid of waste, you can designate a dump area and let your trucks dump the waste onto the terrain. Later on, you can research more ways to deal with waste. All right, note the amount of general waste your population produces depends on the amount of supply they get, whether they recycle. You can never get rid of the general waste entirely. Sure, so there's garbage. Not every single product can be dumped, slag, yada, yada, yada. All right. It looks like wait. This is a settlement. This is a food market. Oh, okay, I see. So we need to start doing some waste collection. I gotcha. How does this work? Trucks come in, trucks go out. You can't explain that. Oh boy. All right, I can see this is gonna be special, isn't it? All right. I guess we just get started on a blast furnace. So why don't we do that? A blast furnace, and we can rotate. Wait, what is that? Oh, okay, so that raises it up. R rotates. Okay. Okay, so green I assume means going in. So let's say if we had a mine over here, so we'd probably want to put this like right here somewhere. All right. Used to create coal, but it is quite inefficient. So, okay, it makes charcoal out of wood. Got it, got it. And this one sucks up delicious molten metal and turns it into something. All right. Let's say that goes there, and then we do molten channel. Uh-oh. Oh, I see. Oh. Okay. I can work with that. It's a little more god gamey than Factorio, I guess, in that you're giving the orders and then your little minions go out and do the work. You don't have to manually go dig all the stuff and yada yada. Iron smelting. The blast furnace allows smelting ores, scrap, and other products into molten materials, which can be cast into final products in the metal caster. Temporary solution is to use metal scraps from the abandoned communication station. Once that is exhausted, you need to start mining iron ore. Smelting iron produces slag that needs to be dumped out onto the train. Coal. Coal is needed to smelt ores if you don't have... All right, so we have coal maker, wood harvesting. All right, got it. Missing input. Can you be more specific? Doubles the throughput while consuming Unity. Oh, there's something called Unity? All right. Let's see. Iron scrap plus coal. We need coal. Got it. All right. Pipe? What is this? What the heck? What does this put out? Plus exhaust. Okay. We can't just, I suppose we can't just vent the exhaust like into the atmosphere. Yeah, whatever. Let's do dumping exhaust, or a dump. Make a dump. Dump is over here now, chat. This is where the dump's gonna go. Did that work? What the heck? I am like totally lost. So what does this need? This needs molten iron. So we need a smokestack. There we go. Yeah, we'll vent it to the atmosphere. Who cares? I mean, the people downwind will probably care, but hey, they live in shipping containers, so it's none of my business. They'll be fine. Don't worry. Okay, so this is making coal. I guess that I'm not allowed to do that. Okay, so let's save that, and then we should be able to just make a pipe. No, that doesn't... What the heck? What do you mean? Oh, okay. Exhaust is coming out the other way. All right, hang on. Cancel that. How do we stop building this? There we go. All right, chat. Don't worry. I'm learning. I'm learning. Oh no, this is too complicated for me. All right, so we should just be able to... Wait, how does this... Are there like... All right, you know what? Let's just move this back a bit. Maybe trucks need to carry this. I'm thinking I'm in like satisfactory mode where everything goes on conveyor belts. Maybe this just needs to be back a ways. And then we'll throw a smoky stack. Smokestack? Hello, smokestack? Oh, I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. There it is. All right. And the game also... Oh, okay, it's still working. What is this thing? Tree harvester. Good. All right, tree harvester, get to work. It is time now to chop down these disgusting trees. And some of the less disgusting ones we'll get later. All right, what else we got? We got a little bit of fuel. And they said that I needed to build a science lab? Research lab. There we go. Shoot, we can just put that over here. Like right next to the dang. Right next to this. Well, maybe not. We'll put it close to the town. Put it like right here. I'm hoping we can move stuff around later if we need to. I'm sure it won't be that easy. Like there's probably like, first you have to deconstruct this one, and then you have to, first you build one, a replacement, and then you have to go back and deconstruct the previous one, so you're kind of stuck with whatever you've done already. The tree harvester has no, what, wait, really? How do I, huh. Missing input. What? It doesn't need any. It just needs molten iron, which, okay, so we need coal for this. And we need logs for this, but we have no truck. All right, how do we assign a truck? Priority. General priority for worker assignment. The lower the number, the higher the priority. Okay, let's assign one truck. Perfect. We've assigned one truck. The research thing is ready. Start. What does this say? Congratulations for the first research lab. You should research and build farms before our food supply runs out. Yeah, that might be important, huh? Basic farming. We gotta research farms. I know how to farm. Like, what the heck? All right, so the tree harvester loads up the truck. The truck drives over to here. It loads up the wood. The wood turns into coal. The coal gets put in the blast furnace. Gets turned into molten metal. And then that all gets turned into beautiful iron, I guess. Okay. Yeah, we're certainly getting somewhere. Here's the dump. How much do we need to... Hold on, can I rotate the cam? Okay, I can. There wasn't really much of a tutorial, huh? Oh, okay. Oh, I see. All right, so we'll just let that pile up, Wall-E style. Pretty soon we'll have a little mountain of trash. We can build right on top of that. You know, it's interesting how much Wall-E and Idiocracy have in common. I wonder how much of that was intentional. Because if you remember in Idiocracy, Joe, who is frozen for, what, like 500 years? I don't remember. And then he gets woken up out of his stasis pod or whatever when he slides down a garbage avalanche. All right, tools. There are several tools that can make you more productive. Oh, does this work in real life too? You can select a structure and copy paste it. Hold shift while right shift. Okay. We'll also copy their configuration. You can cut. It removes cuts to selected structures as well. It only works for ghost structures. The pause tool enables pausing, unpausing individual entities and supports mass pausing. A planning mode. When enabled, it will automatically pause the construction of every structure you place. Oh, that's pretty useful. Leaving the planning mode won't unpause the construction. Unpause, you can use the pause tool, blah, 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 copy settings, Unity tool. You can use quick deliver, quick remove to finish construction projects more quickly. However, that can be tedious when done by one. All right. And I'm guessing Unity is a resource we probably don't want to like waste, even though we're getting 1.3 a month. So is there like a story to this game? We just kind of, we've taken to the high seas as a merchant captain, and now we're setting up our own little industrial enclave somewhere, some kind of Randian paradise. So is this working or what? How much coal do we have? Okay, so then this guy gets the coal. Coal gets loaded up. He drives it next door. It gets put... Ah, here we go. All right, so we're blasting now. So we blast. Waiting. Waiting. And then... Ah, here comes the molten metal. Beautiful. There it goes. Well, that's interesting. Is that how molten metal works, chat? Makes like a little snake kind of thing there. All right, this I'm more familiar with. This is like yeah, like those big steel mills. You know, they put it in a big bucket and then it gets poured into the molds and then comes on, it cools off, and then they haul it away. Easy. How is this all going? That's still being done. Oh, wait. Okay, we are researching. So things require workers. We have 58 workers. Everything is stable. Good. And I haven't noticed anything yet about spewing horrible chemicals and like exhaust into the air, so I'm guessing it's not going to be an issue. At least not yet. It's like Factorio, you know. In Factorio, the aliens start coming after you if you pollute for too long. Uh-oh. The molten metal's starting to back up. Can't imagine that's good. Maybe we should get another one going, so we have an alternative. So let's say we run another molten channel like so. Oh, okay, it's one click and then you're good. Got it. Also, what the heck is this other thing for? Maybe for other metals, it gives you other byproducts. Oh, slag, they were saying, right? Yeah, because this isn't producing slag right now, it's just producing exhaust. I'm guessing if this might be copper, that might be iron. This, oh, this is copper. Copper is like greenish on the surface. Probably like hematite or whatever. We just have some rock. Actually, this looks more irony. Huh. Well, I guess we'll find out when we find out. How are our workers doing? Is there a way to find out? Oh, okay. So air pollution does do something. I guess there's no way for me to... Maybe there's like an overlay that I can look at. I'm not immediately seeing anything. World map. Well, that's one option. But no research. Hang on, we got the farm. Trading dock. Yes. Start that. And now it's time to begin the farming process. Farm allows growing various crops. Can be used for food production. Farm depends on rain only. All right, well, you know what? We got plenty of space for farm over here. Huh. It doesn't line up with the big grid. I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, this is fine, actually. See how much... We just kind of want to make sure it's someplace... There we go. That looks good to me. It's right on the edge of the forest. There's room here yet for more docks. This thing is going to be gone soon anyway. I also like the trucks driving all over creates like roads, desire paths, I guess you would call them. Like if enough people go through the grass in one way, it creates these natural paths without, you know, having to lay down asphalt or whatever. All right, the iron is ready. Let's do this. Oh, 56 workers available means we have 56 available. So I guess the rest of them are being used currently. Whoa, check this out. Not sure what exactly is happening underneath these boxes, but I'm assuming it's very important. Some secrets. There was nothing, chat. It's literally just a farm. We're gonna crank out some delicious potatoes. Can boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. They're delicious. We actually try, I think I mentioned this before in the spring, but we tried planting potatoes this year in the garden and they all died. They came, okay, all right, so let me set the scene for you. They came as live little sproutlings or whatever. And they came in a box, so that they came in the mail. And they're like, yeah, just, you know, plant them and they'll be fine. I'm like, are you sure? So we go dig holes, we stick them in there. We let them marinate for a bit in the dirt. And then a couple of days later, we go out there and they're all just like flopped down dead on the ground. It's like, come on. You can't send us a seed or like an actual potato or whatever, something to grow that's not just gonna flop over and die at the first sign of any adversity. So yeah, no more potatoes for us, I guess. We do fine when we plant seeds most of the time. We planted corn, we planted pumpkins, we planted squash and zucchini this year. And so far they're all doing all right. Although my wife's worried about the corn because it's not like they're not blooming the right word. They make the ears. I think so. Whereas the zucchini and the squash are just going nuts out in the backyard. So we've got plenty of that. What is happening here? Oh, do we need like a warehouse or something? No. No, we do not. Yeah, how do I like adjust the priority of a dumping zone? Ah, whatever. Oh, what's your problem? Pickup cannot deliver wood, no valid destination. Yeah, because everything's backed up right now. We got no warehouses or anything like that. All right, well, keep on rolling. Once we get the trading dock, maybe that'll let us trade. Then we can sell some of the iron off, and then we'll be good to go. Can really get started here. So let's think about this. We have a lot of land to build on. We have a lot of raw resources to exploit. This is like gold. I mentioned this was copper. This is probably iron. This is probably more iron. And then this looks like it could also be iron, but it could be like bauxite or something, which would then be aluminum. Again, I'm not a geologist. I just played a lot of mining games, and they tend to kind of have like a default color scheme. Oh yeah. The brown, actually, now that I think about it, that could also be coal. Could be coal in here. Ooh, it's raining. All right. Let's do this. Construction unlocks assembly. Yeah, that sounds important. Anything else? I don't think we care about vehicles yet. Vehicles depot is probably important later on. Let's go ahead and get trading dock down. Ah, I see. Okay. Ocean access blocked by shipyard. Oh, okay, I got it. So they can't be like right on top of each other. Terrain too low. Okay, how close can we get here? Terrain too low. All right, let's just try. Actually, let's go to the front instead. Maybe we'll have better luck on this side. So why that? Okay, I don't think we want any red. So maybe like here. There we go. All right, we figured it out. Look at that. It's like a natural deep water. Yeah, it's not really a harbor. But it's also not a beach. It's on like a cliff kind of. Okay. So how are we doing? What is this? I thought hovering over would help. I guess you just kind of have to know. Oh, there we go. Click on it. So this one is coal. Okay. Keep empty. Oh, that needs wood. Interesting. I guess that at least, you know, is a cheap thing to build, right? It just takes wood. This is the ship. It is damaged. How do you repair? The shipyard needs to be repaired first. We need to okay. So there's a whole lot of shenanigans going on here, I see. Like first you gotta research the thing, then you gotta fix the thing, and then you gotta fix the other thing that can be fixed now that you fixed the first thing. The important thing is everybody is being fed, right? How are we on potatoes? Total production is -1? That doesn't seem right. I guess maybe we're not producing anything yet. Fertility needed. Natural replenishment. Fertility equilibrium is 47.5. Average production is 9.2. Right, well, if we need more potatoes, we'll plant more potatoes, I guess. Although we have no workers, we might as well. Or we have plenty of workers, so we might as well put down another farm here. Something like that looks good. And then, you know, we have a little bit of room for expansion, hopefully. Okay, how is our trading port coming along? We still need a handful of, can we assign another truck, please? Thank you. Try to keep that going constantly. Oh man, chat. My allergies got bad enough that I had to like use a nasal spray. So hopefully that'll clear things up as we go through the night. Because holy cow, things just ugh. If you are fortunate enough not to have seasonal allergies, man, you're fortunate enough not to have seasonal allergies. Congratulations to you. I bet you like going outside and doing things outside and being able to breathe during the summer. And if you do have seasonal allergies, well, we're in the same boat. Oh, unit storage. Stores up to 180 units of a product. Suppose the easiest would be to do something like this. And then if we ever get conveyor belts, which I assume that's on the docket here, then we should be good. Yeah, we can run conveyor lines. Yada, yada, yada. What is going on here? Oh, full output, right. Everything's full. Okay. I guess we're waiting. This takes iron? No, it takes construction parts. We can't even make those yet. We will be able to shortly, though. We're waiting. This is still going. I think we might need to chop down some more trees. Wait, where the heck's the, where's the tree chop? I must have had to go get more fuel. All right, construction is done. Let's get... Power and maintenance do anything for us? Maintenance depot, basic. Okay. I'll worry about maintenance later. Let's start with vehicles and mining, I guess. All right, so what did... We just did construction, right? So that unlocks assembly, which lets us make various bits and bobs. Should probably start chopping down some more trees as well, just to have that lined up. All right, this is for iron bars or iron plates or whatever. So that'll start clearing this out, so we'll be able to have kind of a smoother production of iron. All right, chat, give me like 1 second here. We're gonna fix this problem once and for all. My gosh. Thank you. All right. Yeah, I muted because to blow my nose, and then I switched back but forgot to unmute. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We want to make this one. Anyway, how's my day going? My day is going all right. Aside from the seasonal allergies that are ruining my summer as always, it was great. I worked from home today, so I got to just kind of relax and keep an eye on the work computer. And now I'm streaming, so I got that going for me, which is nice. All right, assembly ready. You can start producing construction parts to build more machines and buildings, but don't forget to scale up iron production to cope with the demand. All right, I will do as you ask, game. So we're gonna need more iron. Oh boy. Yeah, this is gonna get expensive, isn't it? All right, well, this is the game that I signed up for. Gamer Elliptical, you had the day off? That's awesome. I had all of last week off, which was kind of nice. I have this thing about taking time off where coming back just feels worse. So I typically don't like to do it. So we can trade 5 wood. Wait, hang on. Oh, I can't rotate. Got it. So we can adopt 9 pops. We can trade wood for concrete, which I think we may end up having to do here. Tree harvest. Oh no, tree harvester has no more trees to harvest. Oh no. Start chopping those trees down. Let's go. Get them all. Just go nuts. Yeah, exact. Gamer Elliptical. Exactly. It, like, you're working, you stop working, you get into like, oh, this is so nice, I don't have to work, and then you come back to work and it feels like 10 times worse than if you just maintained your regular schedule. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nice. I'd rather not work than work, but I don't know, it's like a psychological thing. All right, let's get a like a storage for wood here. That takes construction parts. Oh, we're gonna run out of those real fast, aren't we? This will be wood. So what I would like to do is get a second one of these going. And to that end, I really wish we had the conveyor belts or whatever the heck that's supposed to be. It feels so weird just having naked buildings and nothing connecting them. See, let's look at the research. Let's see how far down the line that is. Holy moly. All right, conveyor belts is here. We are here. So we're a ways off on conveyor belts, I guess. We'll just have to suck it up and deal with it then. All right, so let's say we start building, not blast furnace, 2 more metal casters. Like so. Move the blast furnace up here. Is there like a better way to do that? Not really. This is probably my best bet. All right, there we go. And then we also build a coal maker. Yeah, it's not really, I don't know, as far as the conveyor belts being far off and it being different from automation. Like, you have the trucks, which almost in most games it's like the other way around, right? You start with the conveyor belts and then you get the drones or the trains or whatever. In this game, you start with the drones essentially. You have to unlock conveyor belts. Maybe it's a little more modern in that way. So we're fine on coal. So I think we want to put the coal maker here and then do the smokestack here. So this is like the most compact we can do without getting too fancy and lacking conveyor belts, I would say anyway. That can go there and that can go there. And whatever the heck this would be, I think that's slag, will just be whatever. And we can probably just, is there a way to destroy stuff? I'm not even seeing a button. Maybe you have to unlock the ability to break stuff. Oh wait, here it is. Demolish. Got it. Demolish, demolish. So we're gonna move everything up a little bit so that they're more compact. See, we're on vehicles and mining, so we get that, and then we'll grab power and maintenance, and then what does the beacon do? Strong light helps other refugees to find your island and join you. Oh. Okay, so we're gonna want to go for this after this then. Then we need concrete production. Holy moly, look at all this stuff. Harvest water during rain. The crusher. The rotary kiln performs calcination process under high temperatures used to produce cement. That's a, oh boy. You know, this is looking like it's going to be an interesting one. Get rid of that. Get rid of these. And we can get rid of that one, I guess. And now we play the waiting game. And yeah, we don't have concrete yet, so we can't make the other stuff. Still waiting on concrete. Shows how busy your trucks are. Does not include mining operations. Click for more details. What can be dumped by trucks? Dirt, rock, slag, slag crushed, and waste. We have 8 trucks and 1 log thingy, tree cutter, and we have 6 more trucks available to assign. Got it. So let's see. It said we could, I thought it said we could shift click to do this, but maybe, oh wait. Copy. Uh-huh. I see, I see. And that stupid smokestack's in the way, damn it. But yeah, that's basically what I'm gonna do is, well, as soon as it gets around to it, we're gonna copy this whole section, put it down over here. That way it's, I don't know, it looks better first of all, and it's a little more compact. Oh, research selected. Okay, we need the beacon. We'll get working in that direction. Mining and dumping. Mining and dumping allows you to shape the terrain on the island in any way you want. You can remove material by mining it with your excavators, which I don't have yet, and add material by dumping it with trucks. Dumping can be performed anywhere on the island, however, mining requires blah, blah, blah. To designate terrain for mining. Mining operational area. Oh. Oh, neat. Okay. Snapping, resource layer, dumping. All right. I'm ready. Can we get rid of the smokestack, please? Let's go, truck. Okay, here he comes. I'm gonna get this thing out of here. All right, now we can copy. Hello? No. I want to copy. There we go. And then paste right there. Then I would like to do a, not that, molten channel. Molten channel. Beautiful. All right, everything is looking good. Chat, I hope you're ready for an unforgettable luncheon, as we are about to start mining some junk. Wait, did we unlock mining? Vehicles depot allows building vehicles such as trucks and excavators. Well, that's useful. Let's get going on that. Okay, let's say we put that there. And then this allows the waste to continue being yoinked out of the city. I guess we're calling this the city. This little container house place. It's like a Ready Player One. This is gonna build these. We'd like to build an excavator if that's at all possible. We need a mine control tower, not a mind control tower, chat. You get your hopes up for that one. We'll start over here, I think. We'll get the easy stuff. Also, it said there's a map layer that we can see. Ah! Oh! Yes, this is in fact iron ore. And gray is limestone. Hold on. There's like a dark gray and then there's a lighter gray. I don't know what the darker gray is. Ooh. Boy, this is very nice with the grid, I gotta say. Oh, there's groundwater. Ooh. What is this? This is coal. This is limestone. This is sand. The blue stuff is copper. Brown is coal. More iron over here, more groundwater, more... Oh, this is the gold that I mentioned earlier. And then this is sand on the beach. All right, then. Well, let's go over what we've unlocked so far. So we have the vehicles depot that we're working on. We have housing and services. And I would like to trade. I don't have enough. All right. Guess we don't get to do that one. Where's the dang... the tree cutter thing? There it is. The wood is empty again. Jeez. And this needs... vehicle parts, iron, and diesel, which we should have enough of that. Vehicle parts... I guess maybe we don't have enough iron. No, we do. Okay, then. I guess we're just playing the waiting game.
No, the waiting game sucks. Let's play Hungry Hungry Hippos.
Also, I think I rolled over my Ethernet cable earlier. Not during the stream, just like when I was sitting here at my desk. Because, alright, this is stupid. The desk used to be against this wall this way. So it was facing the wall. And I wasn't able to get the camera to work out in that configuration. So when I turned everything around so that now the wall's at my back, the router still has to be back here by the wall because that's where the internet comes in. So the cable runs on the floor, across the carpet, from behind me to the PC, which is behind the camera. It's super cramped. Don't worry too much about it. But yeah, the cable runs on just the floor, on the carpet, and sometimes it manages to snake its way under the wheels of my chair here, so I end up rolling over it. It's no bueno. Shoot, we need to increase the dumping. Yeah, just do it that way, I guess. Let the trucks fill them up. Oh, no research selected. Did we do beacon already? Oh. I guess we never selected anything to start with. That's not good. Also, why the heck is nothing... Are we out of construction parts, chat? Oh no, we're out of construction parts. This is bad. Hang on. We're going for another nose blowing session. Guys, I just want it to go away. I want it to be I want it to be winter again. Is that so much to ask? I want 4 feet of snow on the ground. I want it to be below 0 every day. And all the plants and all the bugs to be dead. Then I'll truly be happy. But no, it's not even August yet. It's almost August, which is good, because if there's one thing I like about the summer, it's that the county fair comes to town and I get to go eat fried cheese curds and corn dogs and funnel cake, donuts and ice cream. All foods that I could eat any other time of the year, but it feels like it's acceptable to do that at a county fair. All right, so we definitely need to trade here. They refused to buy any of this stuff. We don't have any wood. What the heck, man? Is all our wood going into coal production, which is then going to iron production, which then goes to nothing. Oh wait, we can make construction parts. Hold on. There we go. Make construction parts. And can this thing store? Yeah, it should be able to. Shipyard is oh okay, the shipyard is overloaded with cargo. I got it. Gamer, you hate the snow? Really? That's the one thing I like. I don't mind it being cold, but if it could snow and still be warm, that'd be great. Or at least, I like when it's around 30, or I guess right around like -1 for all you Celsius Andes out there. Which is everybody but the US, realistically. I try to use Celsius, but then it confuses people and they're like, what is that in Fahrenheit? And I'm like, okay. Yeah. We live in America, I get it. The way I see it, it's never gonna change if we don't try to change it. So I try to change it. But you know, what is one person gonna do realistically? Maybe if I was president, I'd be like, everybody now has to use the metric system, suck it up. Executive order number 4/2069. Metric system is now mandatory for everything. Oh, boy. All right. So we got the concrete from here. And we also are getting electronics. Ooh. We haven't quite found a use for electronics yet, but I'm sure it's coming up. All right, start cranking these out. Let's go. Go, go, go. Get those construction parts. All right, what is this waiting on? This is waiting on 60 construction parts. You know what? How about just pause that? We don't need that made just yet. It's fine. I'm more interested in the vehicles depot and getting the mining stuff going. In fact, I would say we could make another assembly. It might be useful. How much does that cost? Assembly, General Machines, assembler. Cost 25. I think we can afford one of those. All right, get them going. This is priority 1. That means it's your top priority right now. Get to it. So, chat, how was everybody's week? My week was okay. It's just a regular week, I guess. I don't know. What do you guys want from me? You go into work, you do your work, you come home, you play some video games, you maybe stream a little bit. Last night I went to board game night. which was super fun. That's what I do on Thursdays now, basically. So it used to be a night off. Now I have another obligation I have to attend to. And me and my friends are playing a game called Kingdom Death Monster. Or is that? The heck is it actually called? Kingdom Death Monster. Monster 1.6. Kingdom Death? What the heck? 19 pounds of nightmare horror gaming. Kingdom Death Monster version 1.6. There you go. And it is fun. It is challenging. It's kind of got an it's a pretty expensive board game. My friend I guess was saving up for it for a while. And so we've been playing that. It's very difficult. It's kind of got like an XCOM feel to it where you can die pretty easily. Your characters are expendable. And the combat is turn-based and tactical, which I like. But if you can get a group to play it, it's definitely worth it. If, I don't know, if you split the cost, it's not as bad. Although, even then, what is it, $400 or something? Yeah, it's like $420 it says on here. So if you split that 4 ways, that's about $105, which is still more than I would typically pay for a board game. But if it's gonna last you for a long time, then it's probably worth the money. All right, we're still working on the vehicle depot. Apparently they're ignoring my orders to do this one first. Fine, whatever. Maybe because this one had already started, I guess. Quick deliver. All right. How are we doing on wood? Wood, good. No. There is no wood. Where the heck? But this should have stopped by now. We shouldn't be burning. We shouldn't have that much more coal sitting in storage, right? Like, isn't there a limit on how much can... whatever. And yes, as far as the quality goes, gamer, it's pretty good quality. You do have to put the character models together yourself and then paint them and all that. But, you know, if you're a war gamer, you do Warhammer, any of that stuff, that's pretty typical for those things. But the actual gameplay itself is really solid. I don't know how much more I can say about it. It's a good game if you like board games. You used to like stuff like Gloomhaven. It's kind of like Gloomhaven. It's a cooperative game. There's no like dungeon master or anything. It's all done by the cards. It's all randomly generated for the most part. And it's just a good time. Unless you lose and then you start yelling at your friends and it turns into Monopoly night, and who wants that? Oh, Monopoly. Why do people still play Monopoly? If they do, I feel like, you know, after all these years and people trying to get the word out that Monopoly sucks, play a different game, there are a million better games you could play, you would think that people would have learned by now. All right, well, let's get another tree harvester going, actually. Cancel that one, because we desperately need more wood. And speaking of which, we have a forest down here. What do we do when we run out of wood on the island? Because that's a real possibility here shortly. We're still chopping this area. We'll just mark this whole area. Normal people don't understand games. They just play what's popular. I agree, Hex. You're totally right. And hey, welcome to the stream. Or welcome to chat. I guess you might have been watching. I don't want to make assumptions. Yeah, my family growing up, we would have family game night and it was Monopoly. And it sucked. And I always said, like, hey, let's get a good game. Let's try a different game. Here, I have the Pokemon game, which also isn't that great. It was what's it called? To Be a Master, I think. Pokemon To Be a Master, not the album. Crap, what is it called? Pokemon board game. Master Trainer, that's what it's called. So I bought Pokemon Master Trainer. I never got to play it because everybody's just like, no, let's just play Monopoly. We know how to play that. And I'm like, no, I know exactly what's going to happen. We're going to start getting angry. Dad's going to get up and go do chores in the middle of the game, and he's not going to know what's going on. And then we're just not going to finish the game. And it was in fact what happened every time. My little sister would cry if you wouldn't trade her what she wanted. It was so stupid. All right, let's get the beacon here. So I refuse to play Monopoly now. Unless we play by the actual rules as written. Which nobody will do because everybody's like, well, what about free parking? What about? I'm like, no, there's no free parking. There's no... Stop trying to inject more money back into the game. You're extending the torture session. My dad knows what's up. I don't know about that. I think he just didn't like playing games. He was like that with basically anything we'd do. Like, oh, we're watching a movie. Let me just go vacuum in the middle of the movie, you know, while I'm here. There are home rules that make the game less bad. If you play by the actual rules, they're fine. Well, it's not fine. They're tolerable. It still isn't a very fun game because of the nature of the fact that people get knocked out and then have to sit there. Hold on. Let me do this here. You need a truck assigned. In fact, we don't need to have 2 trucks assigned to this one now. Tolerable is generous. Yeah, well, with the benefit of hindsight, of course. We all know that there are much better games. I actually first got introduced to like real good board games with Agricola. I think I played Settlers of Catan at some point. I'm not really a big fan of Settlers of Catan. That's basically the Monopoly of more advanced board gaming to me. Because you're still rolling dice. It's still randomly generated. Or not randomly generated, but you know what I mean. There's still a lot of chance that goes into it. There's not a whole lot of skill. You get what you get. There's trading, which is whatever. The nice part about Settlers is that nobody gets knocked out. I mean, you can be basically knocked out. Hexes, I've been told if you get a bunch of expansions, it gets actually good. Yeah, that's what I think a board game should be able to stand on its own without expansions. In fact, one of my... All right, let me see. I'm looking at my board game collection. It's over there. I have Terraforming Mars, which is excellent. You don't need any expansions for that. I have got... Let's do this one. Let's turn that off. I've got Terraforming Mars. I've got Alchemists. I mean, I've got, you know, Race for the Galaxy, Seven Wonders. What else? Terra Mystica. And then I can't see the rest because they're at a weird angle. Yeah, I have a bunch of good board games that I haven't got to play in a while. And most of them don't have any expansions. But yeah, I guess Catan, if you really want to go all in on it, you get all the expansions, maybe then it's a little bit better. Okay, so we're growing potatoes and we're overfilling somehow. All right, we got that. Let's go through diesel generator. Burns diesel to create electricity. Well, we're not exactly producing diesel at the moment. That might not be the best idea. Maintenance depot. Converts products into maintenance, which is distributed to all machines, buildings, and vehicles that need it. Important if there's not enough maintenance. Does anything we have need maintenance yet? Maintenance needs 4. And we have 60. Is there a way to see how much maintenance we're producing? Oh, it's right here. Maintenance. Well, that's interesting. I don't want to burn diesel if we can avoid it. Can we repair this yet? No. Maybe we'll just have to bite the bullet and... Okay, so one there. 2 trucks we can assign. And let the fun times begin. Just dig straight into this. Wait, no. I don't want to... I just want to do like straight into the side of the hill here. Like that. So is there a way to improve the way the city looks? Because I don't want everybody living in dang Ready Player One houses. Get some skyscrapers going. You know, I never saw that movie. I think I got the gist of it from the trailers and from the reviews that I saw. It's like, hey, do you like the 80s? Then you'll love Ready Player One. Also, the Iron Giant is there for some reason. I guess because it's owned by, because the movie was made by Warner Brothers, right? Warner Brothers owns like a mishmash of various characters, and then they also, I think, brought in some just from the book. Can we trade yet? We can trade. Nobody wants to buy our potatoes. We don't have enough wood to trade. Oh well, we're trying here. Speaking of trying, all right, so we still have those marked off. Well, we can unpause that. Let's keep going. All right, so this area is now ready. What can be dumped here? Dirt, rock, slag crushed, and waste. So how does this work? He loads up on iron ore, and then what happens? Ah, I see. Well, so we're not dumping slag yet, are we? It doesn't specify. The music's not great, but it's also inoffensive, which is kind of nice for a game like this. You don't need constant bangers in a management simulator like this, I don't think. Do we want to get more pickups maybe? I think we're good on pickups for now. We could just get that beacon. That would be nice. Now let's go ahead and make another assembler. Could not store all potatoes. Yeah, so we're maxed out on potatoes right now. In fact, let's go ahead, do this. Let's adopt 10 pop. And we can trade 4 potatoes. We can trade 4 copper. We can trade 4 rubber. Oh, we can trade coal for diesel. That might actually work. All right, in that case, go ahead and get a diesel generator going. And it looks like, yeah, that's gonna spit out some bad air. Wait. Oh no, that it doesn't spit out. Well, it does, but hold on. Cancel that. Looks like you can have it so that diesel is just coming into there. How the heck? Oh, diesel stored in this thing. Is it though? No, I think we have to fix this first. Low maintenance. Uh-oh. Okay, we better go maintenance time. Maintenance depot right there. Put it right there. And then yeah, we'll build the diesel generator next door. Fine. Just put a little avenue here. Okay, how we're doing on wood? We are out of wood as for usual. It just looks like you're making a factory town. That's exactly what we're doing. We are captains of industry. So we've taken a bunch of libertarians and we've gotten ourselves a boat. We took to the high seas and we established this island for ourselves. It's kind of like Rapture, but less cool looking. It just looks kind of run down. And then we pay everybody in potatoes and they love it. Look how happy they are. They live in these adorable tiny houses made from repurposed shipping containers. Very chic. And they're so happy. They love living here on this island and working. It looks like Tropico. It is a little bit like Tropico. Minus the I mean, it's more like, it's like a mashup, I guess, of Tropico and like Factorio. There's no money, which is interesting. Like Tropico, most things are done with money. In this, everything's done with resources. Maybe it's more like a communist utopia. Like the workers don't get paid because they own the means of production in some way. I don't know. There was no story or anything. All right, we got the diesel generator coming online here. Then we get the maintenance depot up. We'll start cranking out maintenance. This puts out 180 kilowatts. This uses 25 of those. Okay. Just wait till we start refining oil. Oh, what fun we'll have when we refine oil. All right, speaking of which, we need to start making concrete. Oh, wait, diesel. Diesel takes... Oh, oil pump? Allows liquid dumping into ocean. Some liquid will cause water pollution, which can affect health and happiness of your people. But let's not worry too much about that. Yeah, so it takes crude oil plus coal to make diesel and wastewater. Yikes. Well, you gotta spend money to make money, I guess. Let's grab concrete production first, though. And we can make a beacon now, which is located presumably somewhere. Buildings, beacon. Strong light helps others. Guess we'll just plop that down right here. And that requires copper, of which we have plenty. Do I have a union busting ability? I mean, we have unity, which lets me bypass the waiting period for certain things. Factory, if all the machines were minimum wage workers with no rights. They have plenty of rights. They can leave at any time. The exit's right there. Do I have a mansion? We have a yacht. Or an approximation of a yacht. It's like a cargo ship. So I don't know if we're personally on board the ship, but the ship is important as far as I can tell. Yeah, can we maybe get this maintenance depot online, please? Would really appreciate it. This one's gonna be running to make those. And actually, oh, we're gonna need vehicle parts soon, won't we? Okay. I guess we're just rolling with it here. Now that you mention it, a mansion would be nice. I wouldn't turn down a mansion. You know what we should do? We should probably start digging up the coal instead of burning wood for coal. Okay, so where was the coal? Is this it over here? I think it is. Let's double check. That is coal. All right, let's get coal in. That didn't sound the way I wanted it to sound, chat. Let's get coaling, not colon. Not like that. And this is still not that. Oh my gosh. Come on, somebody start cranking these out. Let's go. We need so much to build everything. So the important thing is we got this mine set up, despite the fact that it's not doing much for us right now. So if you're going to be playing this game, go for coal first, because this thing lasts you a long time with the scrap, the iron scrap. Do I have something against colonists? Man, that is weird. I wonder, what does that come from? Hold on. In Latin, it means limb, member, or portion. The colon is a punctuation mark consisting of two equally sized dots placed on the same vertical line. The English word colon is from Latin colon, plural cola, itself from ancient Greek. Colon, meaning limb, member, or portion. In Greek rhetoric and prosody, the term did not refer to punctuation, but to the expressing of passage itself. A colon was a section of a complete thought or passage. All right, that's too much grammar lesson for me right now. So basically it means an extension of something. So a colony is an extension of an existing thing. And then English just took the word and ran with it, probably. Like, oh, yeah, you know, we got colonies, colonists, colonials, all that stuff. Just throw it in there. Use it for everything. All right, is the maintenance depot done? Not enough maintenance. All right, we better start cranking out that maintenance. Crank, 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 crank. This requires electronics and mechanical parts. Ooh, boy. Yeah, this is interesting. So we're gonna start running out of mechanical parts and electronics pretty quickly at this rate. So we'll make mechanical parts. We can start making electronics as well. So to that end, we'll need to start digging up the copper. An extension of an Y, then. Yes, it's a colon Y. All right, this is working. Expecting 16 refugees in less than 3 months. Ooh. Can we trade yet? No, because we're using all of our stuff. There's nothing left. We could trade 30 diesel for 40 coal, or 40 coal for 20 diesel. Yeah, so we definitely need to start mining that coal as soon as we can. Yeah, get unassigned. We'll do the iron later. It's kind of cool they have like an air traffic control for mining. That'd probably be a fun job. All right, can we store I guess we'll find out shortly here. If we do unit storage, let's say we do this. No, leave like 3 space. We cannot store, no, hold on. We cannot store potatoes, so we probably need like a silo or something to store food. Beacon is ready. The beacon is up. It needs a constant supply of fuel. Effectiveness of the beacon will decline over time. Prioritize repairing the ship, as exploration can bring more people and resources to the island. All right, I'm ready. I would love to fix the ship up. What do we need? Tell me more. Irrigated farms comes on the same level as conveyor belts. Wow, this tech tree is... Holy moly. All right. Well, that means there's a lot to go on in this game. Yes, boss. Definitely need 12 full-time people in that tower. Definitely for safety. Does it really need 12 people? Well, it doesn't specify how many people it needs in the tower. Not that I can tell anyway. But I would love that job. It's probably like a big screen TV. It's air conditioned. You can see the AC unit on top. Yeah, it's got a satellite for extra channels. All right, here we go. All right, we need to get some mining going. Mining designation, please. We want it to be flat. We'll just start digging. New refugees, yay! We got 16 people plus a bunch of garbage. Hooray, indeed. Yeah, we should probably build another extension to the settlement here. Something is in the way. That something is awful trees. Get out of here. So sick of these trees, man. Blocking all the scenery. What are the lyrics to that song? Signs everywhere, signs. Is it blocking up the scenery? This doesn't track very well. Signs everywhere, signs. And the sign said long-haired freaky people need not apply. Blocking out the scenery, breaking my mind. There you go. So that's what I say to these trees. Blocking up the scenery, breaking my mind. Do this, don't do that. Can't you read the tree? That doesn't work. Shipyard is overloaded with cargo, yada yada. All right, this is gonna start making mechanical parts. Cast molten material into slabs. So yeah, we'll probably have to start doing the copper. So let's mark this area off. Kind of, you know, set it as an area. And how much is, oh, that's going to cost us 80? Jeez. We're burning through these parts. This sucks. All right, how are we doing on maintenance? Running low on electronics. We better set up another assembly plant. Right there. Start making the electronics ourselves, and then of course we're gonna have to start mining that, and then we have no way to get rubber yet. So I guess we're still a ways off. What is the required for the construction here? Construction. Electrified assembly line that is faster and can produce more advanced products. All right, we definitely want that. But we need synthetic rubber, which we need to get diesel for. Oh, maybe we should do ship dock repair. Also, why does it say 3? Like red. Maybe we need another research thing. Yeah, that's frustrating. I guess we'll just do it like this. They don't tessellate at all. Just like the dang Subway, they don't tessellate your cheese. It's like you've got triangles of cheese, just arrange them so they cover the whole sandwich. Don't stack them up all funny. Okay. That's why when I go to Subway, I get the shredded cheese and my non-tuna tuna. Because, of course, they did that quote-unquote scientific study where they DNA tested the tuna from Subway and concluded there was no tuna DNA in the Subway tuna. It tastes like tuna to me, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I have weird taste buds or something. How's the coal doing? You know, we can probably turn these off, honestly. Like we're digging up coal, I think. He's got iron ore? We're not storing iron ore, are we? Can we maybe assign another truck that doesn't have iron ore in it? Let's move that one up. There we go. No, we can't because now... it's fine. Is it at least fish? Here's the thing about doing a DNA test on something that's been cooked. It's not going to work. I mean, the whole methodology was flawed from the first place. It's definitely tuna. Like, getting tuna is not super expensive. It's probably one of the cheapest fish you can get. At least the, like, you know, the shredded bulk canned stuff, you know? And would I care if it was another fish? Not really. I would like to know what kind of fish it is. I don't care. It tastes fine. I don't like to go to Subway anyway. But if I do, I just get the tuna. People are always, I don't know, they're like, go to Subway to eat healthy. Like, no, just don't eat if you want to be healthy. Or do a Vulcan Rider meat only diet. Which sounds good. I would try it. I don't know, some of my things that I like to eat aren't meat though. So that would kind of suck. All right, are we getting coal yet? What do you get? You're loaded up on coal? All right. Loaded up on coal, chat. We got so much coal, we don't even have a place to put it all. The iron is flowing like iron does. Yep, iron's fully loaded. I guess now it's time to start thinking about getting copper. Or maybe finishing some construction first. All right. So ideally we would like to start making our own concrete, which we did unlock, so let's start with that. It requires... All right, crushes ores into more fine-grained material so they can be used in advanced processing. Turns slag into crushed slag and rock into gravel. And then limestone plus coal turns into cement. Okay, limestone. That's pretty straightforward to dig up, right? This was limestone, I think. All right, let's get another excavator going. And build a mining control tower. Get all 12 of those guys in there. They're gonna be working hard. Hex says, what, you don't like bread that qualifies as a dessert? I mean, I do. I like it. I know it's not good for me. But that's the nature of bread in the US. There's not a whole lot I can do about it. It's like we dump sugar in there and we call it a day. I was watching a video about, it was comparing what we in America call bread versus what they call bread in France. And the bread looked so good. Oh man. I want to get some French bread now. But you know, if you go someplace in the US and get something called French bread, it's probably not quite the same. All right, concrete production. Yes, beacon is done. Concrete production is done. Now we need to start making this. Assembly has nothing selected. Guess we better start making electronics then. People like bread for some reason. I like bread. Yeah, most people like bread, I think. We've been eating bread for thousands of years as a species. It has a lot of flavors that we find agreeable. It is easy to make for the most part. And it is filling. It's like the perfect food, aside from the fact that, you know, you need more than just bread to stay alive. Like these people, they're eating potatoes, but they want a little protein, they want some vitamins, they want some treats. We can't give that to them yet. We're working on it. We're getting there. Yeah, it looks like the houses do eventually upgrade. They're living in the tiny homes right now, but eventually I'm hoping that we can give them a little something, you know? But we can't actually trade until the ship is fixed, huh? All right. Well, let's just keep an eye on our total production then. Let's pin... Oh, we are out of concrete slabs, I think. That's not good. No, we're not out. We're just running kind of low. There's vitamins and proteins in the wilds. Why aren't they foraging and hunting? Well, I don't know if there's any on this island. I think this island is just metal ore, trees, and grass and dirt. Rock. There's no animals. There's no fruit trees. It's not a tropical island like in Tropico, where somebody could just run off and live off mangoes for the rest of their lives. Although all this talk of Tropico makes me want to play Tropico again. Because that's probably a normal reaction to this game. What was the pirate Tropico one? Was that Tropico 2? Because I know the first Tropico was like the Caribbean island dictator thing. I think it must have been Tropico 2, because in Tropico 3, 4, and 5 were all like 3D versions of the first Tropico. Nobody ever went back to the pirate thing, which sucks. Pirate one was cool and fun. All right, we're still waiting on construction materials. Yep, it's going, but it's going slow. All right, let's trade with these guys. I would like 20 concrete, please. Hand over that concrete. Tropico 2, the least popular Tropico. Yeah. I guess if you don't like the pirate theme, you're not gonna like Tropico 2. It makes sense. I just think more people should like it. It has a lot going on that is interesting, that was never really... They never really followed up on it, which I guess makes sense if it wasn't very popular. Okay. So we're gonna need the rubber, we're gonna need the copper. We've got 2 research things going now. I see. Grab that. Then we need copper refinement, which lets us do copper electrolysis, which lets us turn copper ore and coal into molten copper and slag. And then metal caster. And then what the heck is copper electrolysis? Turns impure copper. Oh. So it makes impure copper, and then you have to do you have to do like a secondary finishing step for it. There's some piracy in Tropico. Wait, they're on Tropico 6 already? What the heck? How far behind am I on Tropico? I have 4 and 5. Actually, hang on, let me check my library. I should have more than that. I have Tropico, Tropico 2, Pirate Cove, Tropico 3, Tropico 4, and Tropico 5. There's a Tropico 6 though. Is that one any good? Let's see what the reviews say. El Presidente is back. Prove yourself once again, chap, as a feared dictator or peace-loving statesman on the island state of Tropico, and shape the fate of your very own banana republic through 4 distinctive eras. It's very positive. The first review says, I enjoyed Tropico 6 more than I did 5, but there's very little innovation from previous generations, and parts have been simplified, meaning there are problems that existed in previous games that haven't been improved. There's no continuous campaign, but a collection of 15 scenarios, blah, 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 penultimo, blah, blah, blah. Mac users do not buy. All right. Some good, some bad, lots more of the same. Yeah, I guess it's one of those games where there's only so much you can innovate. Like, people like it for a reason. If you change too much, they'll stop liking it. All right, how are we doing on limestone over here? Looks like we're done. So let's make what is it? What do we need to do here? The concrete mixer. It takes cement and crushed slag to make concrete slabs. So how do we make crushed slag again, chat? We needed... here it is, the crusher. Crushes ores into more fine-grained materials. They can be used in advanced processing. All right, well, let's get that going here. Guess we'll just put it over here. Let me use the rotary kiln. And that is going to put out some other stuff for us. So the coal comes in, the limestone goes in. We want to mine this area here. And that's going to give us limestone. Oh, this is going to cost us so much. Dang it. All right, we need to extend this out. Hold on. Just keep on expanding the dump zone. We'll be able to fix it later, chat. Don't worry. Okay, this one is done. We want this to take in slag and produce slag crushed. And this is going to take in limestone and coal and make cement and exhaust. So we're going to need a smokestack. Then we need not a blast furnace. What the heck do we need? Is it just made in a assembler? Concrete mixer, there it is. So it takes in the slag or whatever. Oh, it needs water too. Oh boy. Okay. right, so right there would be good. And then how do we get water? Oh, there it is. Oh boy, that's okay. Yep, that's definitely something. Then I think we just run a pipeline, right? One pipeline, please. Do I raise it up, chat? Wait. There we go. Then the truck should be able to go underneath. Works for me. Health and pollution. All right. Your population has health. If health is positive, your population grows and provides you with extra unity. If health turns negative, your population starts to decline. You can increase population health with blah, blah, blah. Population health decreases if you emit pollution, air, or water. Pollution on your island is global, so moving smokestacks farther away won't help. Okay. Diseases. Oh, no. Well, I guess if it happens, it happens. There's nothing we can do about it, right? Pollution just goes up there and then, you know, it's not my problem. Things just happen. Nothing we can do about it. All right. Ooh, storage. What is this? Loose storage. Stores up to 180 units of a loose product. I'm guessing slag. So what the heck is producing slag at this point? This is producing slag. Question is, have I been throwing the slag on the little dumpy pile here? And is there a way to make it so that I don't do that? Oh, there's this now. Oh boy. I think I'd rather just trade coal for diesel at this rate. What do you guys think of this game? Is this game all right? It seemed fun enough. Logistics. There are two ways to transport products: trucks and logistics. Trucks are the most versatile way. Okay. Most of the transport can go up by pressing yada yada. We just did that. Pro tip: click on the red green arrow. Whatever. Trucks in storage. Trucks automatically prioritize their deliveries. Blah 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 bitty blue blue blah blah blah. All right. Well, I mean, I've played enough games. I kind of understand how this works. Like, stuff goes in, stuff comes out. Products get made. The world keeps turning. All right, what is this? So this takes 20, this takes 30, this takes 20. So we should be good for a while. Oh, we should probably assign a excavator here, huh? I'm pretty sure we have a second excavator or something. Yeah, there it goes. The game looks depressing. Yeah. I think the idea is you're trying to improve things, but we're starting out at a low technology level, so our only option is to build these like dirty industries to give our people something to do. New refugees, yeah. Welcome to the island, man. All right, that is electronics. We are full on mechanical parts. Still working on those things. Okay, then. It definitely doesn't have the charming atmosphere of Tropico, right? And the awesome music also. And Tropico has a great soundtrack. All right, so what this puts out, it takes in crushed slag and cement and water and makes concrete slabs. Got it. All right. Now we play the waiting game.
No, the waiting game sucks. Let's play Hungry Hungry Hippos.
We could theoretically play Hungry Hungry Hippos on Tabletop Simulator. I don't know how good it would be. It can't be that low tech if you're making electronics while housing people in containers. I mean, I would live in one of these. From what I understand, they're not very like structurally stable when you start cutting holes in them though. And they at least, it looks like they put down little foundation things at least. They're not just sitting on the ground. Yeah, there's a whole host of problems with people living in straight up shipping containers. They're not really designed for people to live in. Although, to be fair, when I was in Afghanistan, I worked in a shipping container. It was just a big shipping container that we had to cut holes into and put a bunch of like equipment in there. I didn't live in one. I lived in like a little wooden hut, but I worked in a shipping container for a while. Can we maybe... What is going on here? Alright, we'll just wait. See, depending on how many people you're cramming into one of these things, it might actually be better than my house. Like, look at this. Imagine if just one person lived in here. Probably not. Maybe like... Well, that doesn't look very structurally sound, honestly. With that overhang there. Look, he's got a little balcony on the roof there. Kind of a fun house. This is more of the same. These double-decker ones. I don't know how you're meant to get up to the top floor. Maybe there's a staircase or a ladder inside. This is like a balcony. 4 to 5 people? The vertical containers seem like a terrible idea. They really do. Like, what is the purpose of that? Maybe there's like a loft up there and you gotta climb a ladder to get to your bedroom. I mean, that's basically how the pioneers were doing it, right? Pioneers used to ride these babies for miles. Just, they'd hop on a shipping container and go wherever the wind took them. I got limestone. All right, keep digging, let's go. Takes so freaking long to build the construction parts that we need. We need so many of them is the problem. We need wood. We need concrete. We need iron. Fortunately, we're doing just fine with the iron. Also a waste of space? Yeah, maybe. But you could just tip it over and it'd be fine. No, they weren't really thinking when they were designing these, alright. Just thought, okay, people live in shipping containers. How does that look? Alright, looks cool. Let's go with that. We are now turning limestone and coal into cement and exhaust. We are turning slag into crushed slag. And we are turning cement and slag crushed into water. And water into concrete slab. We still need the water though. Hasn't rained. What are those, just industrial sized tarps? Really? How does that work? That's one way to get water, I guess. Probably can get desalination plants later on. Not quite there yet. So how about that slag, huh? Once we start making copper, it'll probably be a little bit better. Although that reminds me. What is this guy? This guy's hauling coal. We have dirt. What the heck do we do with dirt? That grass growing on the landfill here. Oh boy. Yeah, now that you mention it, this is kind of depressing. It's like there's no entertainment, there's no They have a waste collection area and a food market. Why is it a food market? Where are they? How are they paying for food? I'm only giving them potatoes. Oh. Is it Bowfroley or Bowfroley? Or neither? Anyway, welcome. Welcome to the stream. This is my first time playing this game. If you have any tips, lay them on me. I'm always listening. Or reading, I guess, in this case. Bowfroley. Okay. I never realized how difficult it was to pronounce people's names online until I started streaming. Because I would always just read them in my head. Plenty of long pork. Yeah, we do have a lot of people. It would be a shame if some of them were to go missing. Where is... Okay, we need to build another housing area, I think. There's a black market for hunted meat. You've been called Bowflower? What the heck? I guess if you just like, depending on how much you're paying attention to chat, you could just quickly look down, see someone's name, assume that you read it correctly, and then say it. Like, I said Hex's name wrong for the longest time until he corrected me, and then I was like, oh, wow. Yeah, that makes way more sense. All right, we need to pick a... We're gonna go with this one. Question is, do we have any crushed slag? I don't think we have any yet. We need to start refining copper. For that, we are going to need more construction parts. And a copper mine. And another excavator. Fortunately, we have enough resources for all of those things. That's come up with my name in other people's chats too. They'll be like, thank you, Star Shadow. Star Shardo. Star Shardo is understandable because, you know, is it a 0? Is it an O? It is a 0, but plenty of people use numbers to swap them out for letters. Having an easy to abbreviate name is an asset. Yeah, everybody, you can just call me Star. It's super easy. I'm fortunate that I picked this name like 20 years ago and it's stuck around for so long. Stars emit light. Well, yeah, it's a metaphor, you know? It's like the shadow of a star, like a black hole, man. Dark like my soul. I had to go to my shift at Hot Topic today. Somebody came in asking for Funko Pops. So I put up my middle finger at them. Alright, limestone we've got going. Yeah, we definitely need the copper. So let's grab ship dock repair so we can start moving out. We have plenty of water. Yeah, we really just need to get on top of the... because mining. Thanks for Eagles, mine control tower. Yeah, I'll put that down here. Doo-doo-doo. Whoa, right, Stars Hard. I don't think that's ever come up, like, realistically. I've made the joke, but I don't think anybody's ever done it for real. Start digging out there. And go. Don't do that. How do I get rid of that? Right click. Got it. Like one of those? We don't have any. Let's make sure we have just enough for each one. Yeah, we should probably make some more pickup trucks. At least you're not Starlight. I would think you were a pole dancer. Yeah, that is kind of a stripper name, isn't it? Hi guys, I'm Starlight. This is my friend Chastity and my other friend Charity. We'll be entertaining you this evening. I wonder if you could stream that on Twitch. I think theoretically you could do pole dancing. You just can't get naked. So if it's like an exercise routine, I'm sure Amaranth has already done it based on what I've seen of her work. No, we're not out of rubber. We just don't. We're out of storage space. Okay, this is still working. We're very busy. Not excited about that. So let's say we do another one of these. We copy like that. But we do this one with copper. We leave some space here so the trucks can get through. A wider trucks. And we'll leave like 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Yeah, that works. And we change this to be copper ore and copper scrap. And then this is going to make copper. And then I think the impure copper has to go through another thing. If you've seen hot tub streams, I'm sure pull wouldn't be a problem. Yeah, well, Twitch is weird about that kind of stuff. I don't get it. I don't have a hot tub. I'm not that rich. Otherwise, sure, why not? I'd go outside and do a little hot tub stream. I don't know if anybody would watch it because I'm a guy. But hey, you know, you never know. The market for a lot of things out there. Oh, this needs water too. Ugh. All right, that could become a problem. This takes 16. This makes 8. So we're actually, if this is making 8 at a time, or 2 of these together are making 16. So that actually makes sense to just have the one then, and we'll have to make another rain thing here. And we'll just run that over there. Probably we can just go right up to it. And we'll leave a little bit of space there. Actually, I was joking about that with another streamer. But like, what if we made like a comedy video about a guy who's trying to get into streaming, but he just wants to do hot tub streams, and he just completely fails because it's hard enough to be a starting streamer, but to like go into a niche thing like hot tub streaming without having an established audience, I don't think it would work. Unless you have like an OnlyFans or something that people are coming from, but then you have that's your established audience, right? We need pipes. Right. This game is a little funky in how it does things. There you go. You click once and then move it and then click again. Okay, that should work now. Let's keep rolling. My stream would be watch me crack beers and empty them, but that wouldn't live long as you. Well, I don't know. Are you in a hot tub and are you in a swimsuit, or is it just you drinking beers on stream? From what I understand, you can just chill out. You can drink beer on stream. You just can't get drunk, I think, is the rule. I don't know for sure. How much electricity are we generating? Ooh, we're going up against our limit here. Current demand, current production, total production capacity. Once we start putting out slag, that's gonna go way up. You could hot tub, but it's 103 outside. Oh no. Yeah. Hot tubs are nice when it's cold out, right? Pickup has no compatible excavator. What do you mean? I haven't made it yet. Settle down. We're working on it. We need vehicle parts, which I'm not even close to making. Okay. Vehicle parts require mechanical parts and electronics. All right, let's get another assembler set up. Ooh boy. Now I see what people were talking about when they said it feels like you're constantly playing catch up. It's one of those kind of games. Look at the tower. We've still got a little bit as far as electronics go, but we need to start transitioning into making our own parts. What a hot tub. When I lived in California, we had a pool that would heat up, and it was like a small above ground pool. It was about the size of a hot tub, I guess. And it would heat up during the day, but it would still feel nice to go in there just because of the water. So maybe the hot tub, if you just don't run the heater, it would be fine. It's like a regular pool. Yeah, I ate all the parts up from this thing already. I think we still have concrete slabs and electronics though, which is good. Because we're gonna need those for the vehicle parts. And yeah, we have 10 in storage here. But we need the other 30. We're getting a lot of refugees, what the heck? Kind of reminds me of Raft. Like, is this one of the few islands that's still poking above the ocean surface? We've struck out on our own. Let's look at the world map here. Does this look like something that's been flooded? No, not really. I mean, it is interesting. It's like weird archipelago. All right, chat. What do we think of this music? Do we want to? Let's put on something a little more peppy, huh? X has got me thinking. And if this gets copyright struck, whatever, I don't care. Oh, that's loud. Is that better? You guys like that one? Play Raft, and then when you win, you start Captain of Industry. After that is Kerbal Space Program. Let's just cut out the middleman and play Spore. Yeah, this is definitely more Aloha Friday. Oh, actually, yeah, Dyson Sphere Program would be great as a follow-up to this. Although, I don't know that I can stream Dyson Sphere Program. It's one of those games that I feel like I always say is not a game that streams well unless you have a dedicated audience. How loud is that on the stream? It's like loud in my ears. That's better. If you're wondering, this is the Tropico soundtrack. We need a new Spore-like game, one that isn't dumbed down. Hey, you'll get no argument from me. I was there. I was in on the ground floor for Spore. And I'm still a little salty about it to this day. Remember how excited I was? I would spend time on the Maxis forums talking about all the cool creatures we were gonna make, and then the game came out and it's just like, oh, okay, another game ruined by EA. Although I think that was one of those cases where it wasn't really EA, it was just like the concept was so difficult to get right that they were split along in the development team. There's no such thing as knowing too much about Tropico. Come on, it's a great game. Maybe I should have streamed Tropico. Maybe we'll do that next week. Doesn't it already makes everything look better? Like, oh, it's not like a depressing capitalist dystopia. It's like, it's a fun Caribbean island. Look at that. Like everybody's dancing and singing. Everything's fine. Oh, we need to make this a higher priority, I think. We can start cranking out vehicle parts. Because we are making electronics, we are making mechanical parts. So it's just a matter of combining them together to make vehicle parts. Tropico's great, but it's kind of dull as a stream. Yeah, see, that's what it's hard. It's like, I have to be 100% on. Here's the thing I've noticed about streaming. If you have an audience that is active in chat, you can make anything entertaining. I think the hardest part is getting that jump start at the beginning. Because I've gone into a lot of smaller streams, right? And it's just a guy, like, here's Guy, and he's just sitting there, he's just playing. Not talking. Not doing anything. And I don't know if you guys like ever watch the VODs or whatever, but even at the beginning of the stream, I'll talk to people even if there's nobody there, because that's what you have to do. You have to be doing something. Either that or you have to be really good at the game, which I am not. New refugees. All right, we got rubber. Oh, diesel is good, and some copper. So we can rebuild the dock now. Let's get that thing. Oh, that cost 100. Pause that, please. Yeah, we do not have, we don't have that much construction materials right now. The #1 advice for streamers from a stream analyst is talk all the time. That's right. And that's one of the things, right? If I'm out in public, if I'm at work, if I'm like just hanging out, I'm very, well, that's not true. If I'm hanging out with my friends, I'm talking all the time. But if you saw me, if you would have known me in like high school or whatever, and maybe I was talking a lot then too. All right, bad example. I think I see myself as someone who doesn't talk much, except I never shut up. So maybe that's beneficial in some ways. I guess because I don't like leaving the house or going anywhere or doing anything. I think I'm a quiet person, but really I just am lazy. #2 advice is having a typo or mistake in your title. I think I've seen that advice before. People will come in to correct you. Oh boy. If only it was that easy. There's a whole lot of luck that goes into it. It's all about when you can schedule your streams. Are you streaming when people are looking to watch you? Are you streaming when someone else bigger and better than you is streaming? Which, I mean, this Twitch is a mature platform. The answer is yes, of course you are, because there's millions of people streaming right now, I assume. Maybe not millions. Many thousands at least. And why would you choose this small guy when you could go watch Northern Lion, who is funnier and better at games and has a larger audience? And the answer is, I don't know. I don't know, maybe I bring something unique to the table. Who knows? Maybe people like my pink kitty headphones. They're all streaming for... That's true. I have seen a lot... Like, I think the #3 advice is don't play a game that, like, 10,000 other people are playing, because you'll be at the bottom of the list. If you're trying to stream seriously and not just for fun, don't play a yeah, there you go. Don't play a popular game when you're small. Like, I know there's another streamer who is Icy Star Shard, and she's always playing Apex Legends or like Modern Warfare and stuff. And I'm like, is that like, do people show up to watch that? I guess if you have friends, they will. And I'll sometimes pop in just because, you know, Star Shard solidarity. But I don't know how much of streaming is community building. Like 90% of it. So you guys think I should stream League of Legends then? I've never played. Maybe it would be really funny. I'd get banned for feeding or something. If you stream for fun, you stream whatever the heck you want. Oh, the heck you want. Yeah, I mean, I do stream for fun, but also I want people to watch. Like, it's fun for me if people are watching. Oh no, chat. Does this bug anybody else? Like, a lot? Oh boy. Oh no, how could this happen? How could I let this happen, chat? It's off center. No. We'll fix it later. It's probably not a very efficient placement to begin with. At least the water thing is filling up. How's this one? This one's full. That's good. So if we could get some crushed slag, that would be really cool. I'm guessing we don't have the copper yet. Right, we don't have the copper because we don't have the excavator, because we don't have the vehicle parts, because we don't have... Holy cow, that takes a long time. The houses will all... Well, the houses are going to stay there. The new houses I don't think we get until we... Shoot, I don't know. Maybe there's research we have to do? Groundwater pump. Maybe construction 2? Crop rotation. Here we go. Captain's office. Growth. No, that's not. Eviction. Oh, yikes. Housing. There we go. Housing 2. So that happens this many away. Is after conveyor belts. Transport balancing. Oh my. Hexes, I bet you just missed a housing upgrade. Nope, I didn't. Whoa, wait, did I? Hold on. No, yeah, it's housing 2, because we started with housing 1, which is like doesn't exist, I guess. So it goes just to housing 2 next. Research lab 2. Ooh, research lab 2. This lab has to be provided with lab equipment on a continuous basis in order to work. The more labs you have, the faster you research. Lab can return consumed products in form of recyclables if recycling technology is unlocked. All right, we're not that far yet. Let's be patient. These must be pretty good shipping containers if they prefer those to chopping down some trees. And listen, they don't own the trees. I own the trees. They're not allowed to chop down the trees and make log cabins. This is my capitalist dystopia, and I am the captain. And they are my humble cabin boys. All right, how is the copper going here? What are we missing? We're missing copper because we don't have the excavator. Right. I keep thinking like, oh, I'm just clearly I'm forgetting to do something. No, it just hasn't happened yet. We're not that far yet. All right, how are we doing on that third excavator, by the way? Oh boy. You know what? Let's just speed up time. Because why not? It's a dictatorship, and I am the dict. That's right. The dictator. Copper, rubber, iron scrap, more diesel. We are gonna start overpopulating here soon. I should find work for all these fine people. What can I make them do, though? I'm currently constrained by the lack of construction parts. What the heck? I think a plane just flew overhead. That was weird. I mean, there's a small municipal airport up the hill. But usually I can't hear them from inside the house. The metal containers keep the extraterrestrials from listening to your thoughts. That's right. It's like instead of having to wear an uncomfortable tinfoil hat all the time, you've got these wonderful tinfoil shipping containers to live in. Oh, I want to get... Okay, how about we give them something to do here? Let's build a... what is it called? So let's start backwards. We're gonna have to dump stuff out into the ocean, right? Because that's just how That's just how this works. Okay, oh, excuse me. Where does this need to go? Which part needs to be in the ocean? There, okay, there we go. So something like that would be good. All right, so this will be the discharge. Then we need to make... All right, so let's go backwards. So basic distiller, it takes coal and crude oil and pumps out wastewater like so. Then we run the... Yeah, just dump it into the water. Hey, Rainbow Yeti's here. Hello, Rainbow Yeti. I hope you had a great week. I hope you're having a good Friday. We're all right here. We're playing a little, well, it's Captain of Industry, but we've just decided it's Tropico because the music is way better. Yeah, we're just gonna dump all this garbage out into the ocean. It'll probably be fine, right? Then we need crude oil, which, unfortunately comes from over here. Oh, that's... All right, never mind. I guess can't scratch that. Cut it all. I guess we probably should have started with the oil pump, huh? So yeah, there's a deposit of crude oil there. Right there. Yeah, just right there is good. Day was busy, eating food. Week was good. Dumping into the... Yeah, well, listen. It's fine. Don't worry about these people. They don't know what they're talking about. Dumping... Look. Dilution is the solution to pollution. So we're just gonna dump it all and we'll let nature sort it out. It's fine. Everything is gonna be just fine. My advisors have assured me everything's gonna be fine. Oh, I like this one. It's like a little Spanish ballad. So there we go. Then we want a liquid tank. Fluid storage, yep. Perfect. Then we need some pipage. Perfect. Everything is perfect, chat. It's gonna be great. Then we just need to run this out to the ocean. Okay. Oh, this costs materials too. Jeez. They really got you no matter which way you go, huh? Oh. Okay, I guess I can't build that unless I have a place to connect it to. Alright, where is it? The music's a bit quiet? Okay, here, let me bring it up a little bit. Okay, liquid dump. Turn that around. Put it as far out as we can go. Perfect. Then we take the pipe. Well, I gotta get used to this menu. And then go up. And go across. There we go. Alright, and then we just dump the wastewater into the ocean where it belongs. Everything is about parts in this game. White, yellow, red, purple. So it's like Factorio a little bit in that regard. It's like you make the parts to make the other parts, to make the buildings, to make the other parts. It makes sense. But we're paused for some reason? What the heck? I hope the game hasn't been paused that long. All right, speaking of parts, still waiting on parts. And yeah, this is gonna take construction parts, construction parts, construction parts. Lots of construction parts that I do not have. I think there's some big streamers out there who subtitle or put copyright, or not copyright, closed captions on their streams. Am I mining iron ore? Yeah, I have a mine set up. Oh crap. But I think we might have enough iron stockpiled that we can live without it until we get this copper going. And then we'll make another excavator and start going. All right. Speaking of which, let's just do another one. And this is going to take 100 construction parts to to repair, not upgrade. Yeah, we have the iron mine here, limestone here, copper's down here, coal is right here. I think we're sitting pretty good as far as resources go. Maybe. Yeah, we got a full stockpile here of iron. Oh, why did this stop? Oh, we're out of concrete. All right, hang on. Let's do another. Oh, we have some right here. Oh, somebody go grab those. What the heck? Ah, this game. I miss my conveyor belts. They're so good. I guess we could get rid of this. We don't need those anymore. And it'll give us back some materials, I think. It'll give us back a lot of materials, actually. Wow. And I don't know. We have 420 diesel. A little bit of coal. We have plenty of copper just sitting by. So maybe getting to copper wasn't as big a deal as I thought it would be. Still kind of important though. Oh hey, we got one done. Let's go. Copper, go. Get out there, excavator. Mine control has no... Oh. I didn't designate anything. Oh, that's a dumping zone. Get out of here. It's supposed to be a mining zone. There. Alright, get to work, excavator. Once you get your ore, then you'll get slag, then you can make brick. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, once we get the... well, we have the copper ore. We should be able to get the iron going. Because I was mining iron, and then I realized I needed coal more, so I switched it over, and then I never reestablished this one. Let's just go through and see where all the trucks are assigned. We have 5 that are idle, 3 that are assigned, 3 that are assigned to mining operations. Don't tell me I have 1 idle. What are you talking about? Maybe now would be a good time to make... Oh no, that doesn't... We don't have the one that we need yet. We need... storage. This one. Iron, yeah, iron also gives slag. That, you know what? You're right. I should have started with that. But I was just so obsessed with getting the copper going that now I've like hamstrung myself. It's fine. This game seems pretty forgiving. I think somebody on the Steam forums was like, I can't enjoy this game. There's too much happening. It's overwhelming. And somebody else was like, just like slow down. There's no rush. It's like, your people aren't gonna die. I mean, maybe they will. I don't know. Gotten that far. We had maintenance. Seems like we're all right on maintenance. Well, not really. We need... Global need is 41. We can get 58 max out of 60. That's fine. 95. I'll take 95% over nothing. Nah, I'm doing fine. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any real pressing concerns right now, other than I'm impatient. But that's a me thing. Oh, this music takes me back. It's so good. I don't remember when the first time I played Tropico was. I guess it would have been around the time it came out. And I don't know, because I grew up with SimCity, and I think my biggest one was SimCity, is it 2000? SimCity 2000 and SimCity 4 were the ones that I played the most. And so Tropico was a bit of a change, because it's not generic. It's not a generic city. It's a Caribbean island, and there's like different decisions you can make and edicts and stuff, which SimCity 4 had kind of. It's almost like I think you can look at Tropico as sort of a prototype for the City Skylines type city games we have now. All right, so once we finish getting this up and running, I'll feel a little more confident setting up this. Unfortunately, oh, this is going all right. We actually, I think we need more power. Get another diesel generator going. Okay. Maintenance depot's doing its thing. All games learn from each other's. Well, some people refuse to learn from other games. I mean, look at what Harvest Moon is doing these days, despite the fact that Stardew Valley came and blew them out of the water. It's like, oh, let's just do what we did before and make no changes and not make it any more fun to play and add nothing. People will love us. So yes, theoretically, all games can learn from each other. They don't always take the right lesson or any lesson. But we're definitely going to need more trucks. Actually, that's not true. So if we have one truck per mine, that covers most of what I'm hauling around the island at this point. Like, I guess the biggest thing would be having 2 trucks just dedicated to wood, despite the fact that I'm full up on wood. Except for NFT games, of course. Have you guys seen the Nickelodeon NFTs? Oh my gosh, I have to show you guys these if you haven't seen them. They're so gross. Oh man. They're like the worst things I've ever seen. All right, check this out with your eyes. All right, so that's fine. We got Phoebe, we got Gerald, we got Harold. We have Slime for some reason. It only cost 0.07 ETH. Where are the like weird mishmash ones? Also, I should point out these are official from Nickelodeon. It's like really, really gross. There's Lil, Angelica, blah blah blah. Okay, come on. Where are the like weird ones? I mean, they're all kind of weird. Like, what is this? Who wants these? Why does Phoebe have a pig nose? What? You can get a TV pack for 0.1 ETH. I don't even, how much is that? Does anybody know off the top of their head how much Ethereum is worth? It's Ethereum. So for 10 Ethereum or 0.1 Ethereum, I'm gonna say like 10 Ethereum cents, but I don't think that makes sense. All right, there's Harold again. Really? Helga with a monocle, like it's just random crap. It's like the Bored Apes. They're like procedurally generated art. Arnold without his hat. That is cursed. Oh. Still Arnold without his hat again. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna find one, but basically there are character mashups where it's like imagine Helga, but it's Angelica. Arnold Shortman. It's NFT that, yeah, they're not made to be good. Yeah, that's one thing. Yes. Then okay, they're not made to be good. What are they made for? You don't even want the artwork associated with Chucky minus glasses with goggles on. Ugh. That one's expensive. That's 0.15. They're just so boring. Like, what? Okay, I don't think we're gonna find the ones that I was thinking of. All right, we'll go back to the game. But just be aware, one Ethereum is $1,700. So 0.1 is gonna be what, $170 about? That's too much. Like, what do you, okay, so you buy it and then you hope that somebody will buy it from you later for more than you paid for it? I guess that's sort of the goal. It doesn't do anything. You don't own the character. You don't even own the picture, technically. Wait, is the copper actually going now? Is the concrete going? Everything's going, chat. It's all working. Everything's coming together. Did we make the other excavator? Not yet. We're working on it. Can we? No, we don't have the upgraded assembly yet. They are functionally worthless. Well, it's like everybody always says, anything is worth whatever someone's willing to pay for it. If someone's willing to pay for a piece of garbage, one man's trash is another man's pleasure, as I always say. I mean, who among us would not try to sell garbage to somebody for a couple $100? People who buy NFTs can't read. Those kids would be really angry right now if they could read. You know what the scummiest part is? When they pay people to advertise their NFTs and they're like, guys, check it out. I just came across this Nickelodeon stuff. I used to love watching Nickelodeon. Now I can own a part of the character. It's like, no, you got paid like $1,500 to say that. Maybe they hooked you up with a free NFT. You're not being genuine. And it's really scummy. That's why I always say, if someone is trying to sell you something, it's probably a scam. Like, and that goes for anything. NFTs, gold, a car. Like, if someone has to sell it to you and you're not the one seeking it out and trying to buy it, you're probably getting scammed somewhere along the lines. Hey, Juicy Fruit Snacks, welcome back. We were just taking a detour into NFTs, don't mind me. We're back to the game now. Welcome to Captain of Tropico, the latest game from PopCap Games. May they rest in peace forever. Housing. We need more houses. More beautiful shipping containers for our people. Don't worry, they like it. You love PopCap? I know, right? I miss all the great games they used to make. Scummy and polluting. Speaking of scummy and polluting, we're almost done with our diesel factory here, which will then discharge wastewater directly back into the ocean. I hope none of our people plan to go swimming. I've got electronics and shacks. I could be making NFTs right now. Yeah, good. I bet there's a game on Steam like that, like NFT Maker Simulator or something stupid. Let me see. NFT Simulator. It looks like Cookie Clicker. Have fun creating, selling, and trading NFTs with other nerds around the world. You can play mini games to increase the hype around your NFT to increase its value. But be careful, if you get too much hype, you'll attract the haters and your prices will crash due to FUD. Your NFT will get FUDded out of existence. Also, these people aren't allowed to have access to the internet, so they technically, I guess I could be making the NFTs, right? All right, next research. Excuse me. Construction 2. Ugh. There we go. I was gonna say there we go, but I think something got like stuck in my throat. By the way, it's 4:30 a.m. there. Holy moly. Well, I hope you're not staying up on my account, but if you are, thanks. I stayed up late last night because, like I was saying, Thursday is my board game night. I was downtown at the game store with my friends. We were playing Kingdom Death Monsters, and they wanted to do another round. And I'm like, okay, guys, it's like 9 o'clock. If we do another round, I'm gonna be here for at least an hour, and I do like to go to bed at a reasonable time. So we blast through the round. I get out of there around like 10:30, or it was like 10, maybe it was 10. And then I have to walk home, so that's like another 30-minute walk. And I wasn't in bed until like 11:30, which for me is quite late. Hex says, just paint on canvas and have people pay you to list their name on a plaque saying they own it. It's like that Italian guy who sold the invisible sculpture. A museum gave him money, I think, to make a piece of art, and he made an invisible sculpture to display. They gave him like 20 grand. And I think they tried to sue, but in the end, he was able to say that, art is in the eye of the beholder. So yeah, whether it's NFTs or like invisible sculptures or just like garbage art, like people have been scamming people with art for a long time. Okay, this is the one making concrete. Got it. Cinder blocks, whatever. Also, people are homeless. We need to maybe get this going sooner rather than later. What is the hold up here? Oh, we're low on concrete slabs, I guess. How many do we have? We are making them. It's just difficult to actually get them delivered, I guess. X says, I removed everything out until only the sculpture remained. Turns out the sculpture was nothing all along. Yes, that is how sculpture works. And Juicy Fruit Snack says, I can't sleep. I'm watching streams helping for my sleep. Hey, whatever helps you, man. I'll try to be as soothing and boring and dull and chill as possible to help ease you to sleep. Maybe the Tropico music will help. I know I could certainly fall asleep to this. Oh, it just sounds kind of nice, actually. Wow, we're running out of construction parts again. Who could have foreseen this? We did get the excavator at least. All right, we need to unsign these guys. Wood is not a major concern right now. Maybe my anime girlfriend helped me. You're watching a VTuber too? Boy, I wish I could be a VTuber, if only because VTubers are popular. Like, I don't think I could be a legitimate VTuber. I'd be like an imposter VTuber. And people would know that I'm not really in it for the VTubing. I'm just in it. Wait, we need more farms? Oh yeah, we need more farms. More farms, more farms. Give me farms. There we go. Well, that's unfortunate. How about we do this? Yeah, we could just put them right next to each other, actually. It'll mess with the desire path here, but that's fine. They can go around. All right, we need more potatoes. We need more houses. The farm also needs construction parts. All right, we really need... Yeah, we really need more of these. Let's get those cinder blocks going here. What about vehicle parts? We have 18 vehicle parts. Once we get up to... How many do we need for a pickup? Need 20. All right. We'll get working on another one. Ugh. All right. So everybody here is on Twitch. I know you guys are watching a VTuber. Who's everybody's favorite VTuber? I'll go last. All right, you know what? I'll call my friends out here. I know one of them really likes Gargura, the little shark girl. So there you go. We'll start with that one. I don't think I've ever watched. I haven't watched any of the actual like Japanese VTubers, like the originals. And then I know there's a lot of furry VTubers out there. For all you furries, which is honestly kind of cool. Like that's an option. Can we grow anything besides potatoes? No, we cannot. How are we doing on construction parts? We are not, because nobody is moving the dang concrete around. Oh, this is stupid. VTuber equals YouTuber? No, VTuber equals... You guys know what a VTuber is. I shouldn't have to explain this. Hang on. Let me try to find an example. Not videos, images. There we go. Like V Shoujo. Pokimane did a VTuber stream. HoloLive? I don't know. Can't find a good picture. They're just like 3D anime girls, but they stream. So basically how it works is you have some kind of 3D avatar or even a 2D avatar, and then you have some kind of face body tracking software. So while, like, say I'm sitting here, but instead of seeing my face, there's like a 3D guy bouncing around making like facial expressions as I make them. Or a, 3D anime girl, or like a furry creature of some kind. Juicy Fruit Snack says, VTubers don't lose after taking my pills because they real, but my NFB girlfriend don't. Sag. I think I've mentioned this on the stream before, but I could never get into anime because I don't know why. I guess because all the people that I grew up with who liked anime were like weirder than me. Like, things are bad when me, the like biggest loser, is looking down on your weird anime group. All right, how's the iron doing? The iron is doing great. Everything is doing fine. except we're just constantly running low on materials. Mostly the cinder blocks. All right, how about this? Oh boy. You actually hate anime. Well, that's gotta be awkward for you and your anime girlfriend. Rainbow Yeti's never watched a VTuber. You find it hilarious when something happens in the game and you can see the facial expressions. Well, you would see the facial expressions. It would just be on like a 3D anime girl. But yes, I do like when you can actually see the person's reaction. I think that's one of the we were talking about the rules for streaming earlier. I think that's one of the rules is you don't have to use a face cam, but you probably should. Because that's like a good chunk of the streamer audience experience is seeing facial expressions and like genuine reactions to what's going on in the game. Plus, you can see me do this. Look, I'm dancing around. It's so much fun. I'm so quirky. Just your first snack says, I prefer English girls over anime girls because English girls real. Facial tracking and animations are pretty good for VTubers. Yes, if you've got the right software and you've got the right hardware, it's like watching, I don't know, like a 3D animated movie. Sometimes there's a cat in some streams. Yeah, some people do have like the cat cam. I would set that up, but my cat is not very cooperative. So I would set it up and then he would just move. And then he would never lay in that spot while the camera is facing it. Pet cams, that's good advice. Yeah, lots of people like pets. I'm ambivalent on having your pet on stream. Okay. This is not... Oh, really? All right, trucks. Well, this needs to get bumped up. This needs to be like priority 1. Yeah. These needs to be like priority 1. Because we really need those construction materials because we already have homeless people. Like they're basically homeless already. What is even lower than a shipping crate? I'm sorry, Your Honor, I'm not a cat. Yeah, the lawyer who got the Instagram filter stuck on because boomers be like that, right? So stupid. How does that even happen? Like you don't know how to set up a webcam, but you know how to turn on the cat face filter? All right, we need 20 more in either case. It's so slow. And for some reason, the dang trucks refuse to... Let's get another truck going. The trucks are not taking cinder blocks where they need to be going. Like this one's going, this one is not. It's waiting on the concrete. His grandkids were using it over the weekend and he was trying to work on a weekday. Uh-huh. A likely story. I guess if the judge bought it. I guess I didn't really follow up on that story. I just heard the headline. That was right at the beginning of the pandemic, wasn't it? When everything was going to work from home. Man, that was a good time. I got to work from home like 3 days a week. It was beautiful. Juicy Fruit Snack says, I want 2 real girls, but they don't want me, lol. Yeah, that's just how life is. It's like you want what you want and then you can't get what you want. Basically, at least for us guys, that's just kind of how it is. You have to learn to live with it. Just don't become like a crazy incel, and you have a much better chance. Oh, come on. 72. We need 2 more deliveries here. Come on, trucks. Go, go, go. Load up those parts. Get thee gone. I like this one. With a pet cam, you can have a redeem for Pet the Kitty. Then people will watch you just to have points to redeem Pet the Kitty. Do you think they really would? Because they'd have to watch me first to know that there's a Pet the Kitty redeem. And then they'd have to think that it's worth sticking around, or at least leaving the stream on in the background. And I just don't know if that's like a realistic expectation. Because the number one thing is getting people to watch in the first place. That's the hard part. Quick deliver. Oh, that's right. There's a quick deliver function that I can use. Unfortunately, I don't have... It's not a question of materials. It's a question of waiting for them to finish. Conveyor belts. Let's go. X's, you can play RimWorld while watching. Oh, RimWorld's gonna play RimWorld. Yeah, okay. Or Rainbow Yeti's gonna play RimWorld. Go for it. I promise I will get back to RimWorld someday, chat. I know I've been saying that for months. It's just RimWorld, me and RimWorld don't get along most of the time. Maybe I should play on a lower difficulty or something. Just add now with kitty cam. What if I just put, because I'm wearing the kitty ears, what if I just put another picture of myself and then it would be with the cat filter? No, that's stupid. No available place to dump product. Really? All right, hang on. We have to expand the dump. The dump must be expanded. The worst part is I'm going to have to move all this at some point. Because I'm going to want to like fill in the holes left over from this coal excavation. X's, it's been a while since the last update. There's probably a new DLC. I mean, I don't know. What would the next DLC even be? I would love to see something where, if you've played the Save Our Ship mod, something like that would be fun. So maybe we'll get an. I don't think there's. I've not heard any news. At least there might be news. All right. So the biggest holdup right now is that we're just not getting the concrete slabs delivered in a timely manner. Question is, are we making enough concrete slab? The answer is yes. But now that we don't have, okay, we're researching conveyor belts and as we speak. So how are we doing on everything else then? Very slowly. The last 2 DLCs came out with no, that's true. There wasn't a whole lot of teasing. Let me check the forums here real quick. Let's see if there's if anybody's heard any whisperings. And I don't need a new DLC. I just think I just need to play on a difficulty that doesn't constantly try to screw me over. Let's see, there's an update that fixed compatibility for the Steam Deck, which great if I had the money. RimWorld Let's Plays on YouTube. Let's see. Yo, what happened to Royal Thrumbos? Question mark. Or Royal Thrumbos. Thinking of buying the DLC, but I'm uncertain. Are achievements coming? How to record every move in the game? What the heck? Hello all. I just have a quick question. I'm an academician? Hold on. In design cognition field, and I want to utilize this game for my PhD research. I want to keep track of game environment events and players' actions with a timestamp in text format. Is there any way I can do that? What the heck? And oh, what is Juicy Fruit Snack saying? Juicy Fruit Snacks, yeah, so Juicy Fruit Snacks has made a horribly tasteless joke and then is saying, it's not so bad, right? Sorry, I lost my ability. You're fine, Juicy Fruit Snacks, don't worry about it. I grew up in the time of the emo kids. I'm well versed in their ways. Although I don't know if emos are still around at this point. Yeah, they probably are. Doesn't really go out of style. Well, it never really is in style. It's more of a, this is who we are. It's not a phase, mom, kind of thing. All right, how is this going? Still waiting on the concrete. This one has a lot built up. Concrete's coming in. Concrete's going out. Can't explain that. All right. Maybe now is the time to build a storage for concrete. If I had more construction materials. Oh my gosh. And Juicy Fruit Snacks says, actually 2 months ago I was a meme lord in Twitter and Instagram, but a meme lord, huh? You want to hear about my meme lord days? I used to hang out on a little website called you'rethemannowdog.com, aka ytmnd.com. And that was the mid 2000s, and that was one of the epicenters for like the modern meme culture in which we live today. It was that, Something Awful, Fark, Newgrounds, just a whole melting pot of like weird senses of humor, random humor. So everything you see today on Twitter, on Tumblr, all that stuff, that all evolved out of that like weird time in the early to mid 2000s of the like the humor of the time. You can trace it all back to those days. And then of course before that you had like the more niche forums, I guess. Your BBSs of the old times, your muds. Boy, the old internet was super cool, wasn't it, chat? All right. I can see we're not getting anywhere fast here because there's just this constant bottleneck with the concrete blocks. And it is 9 o'clock, so why don't we wrap it up for the night? And we'll be back on Monday. Maybe we'll play this again. Maybe we'll just keep playing. I know it's kind of boring. If I don't find anything better, maybe I'll think about it over the weekend. So thanks everybody for coming out. Thanks for sticking around. I'll send you guys off to visit Platforming Pangolin, who's playing something with pinball. Here we go. Have a good weekend, everybody.